Hey y'all, I wanted to talk about ActionCam Supernatural Case. This is a first-person action/horror game, and it's played through the perspective of a body cam footage style. And I've seen like things about games being made this style in the last couple years, like the body cam genre of gaming is kind of this new thing that's developed. And I've seen it where it is more action-based, but it seems like there's more horror ones being developed as well. I don't know why this has become a thing more recently, but it is. And I haven't played a game that's like this yet, but I've been curious to try one out after seeing these kind of smaller body cam games pop up. So this game is short. It's not super long. You can get done like an hour to an hour and a half at the most. It's a quick experience. Now you're like, oh, action cam. There's gonna be a lot of action in this game. Well, not really. There isn't that much action. In the sense it lives up to its name as to where you're going into the school and you're trying to find out what happened to this missing kid. You don't really know why. You're just like, oh, I'm doing my duty. I'm gonna solve the case of what happened to this kid. And that's like the story. And as you're going through the game, you have a little journal and it'll kind of keep track of the tasks you need to do. But most of the time you're going around picking up ammo. And that's what I find funny about this game, is that it's called Action Cam, and I would be picking up all this ammo like constantly, and I was like, okay, cool, I get to shoot a lot of stuff. This is why I like shooting horror games, Resident Evil, something like that. But there wasn't much to shoot at. This game only has one other character in it besides the character you play. And this character is basically a Mr. X, essentially. Essentially, that's what this character is. As you're going around just looking around the school, because that's where it's at, you just keep seeing this like creepy character that pops up, kind of gets in your way, and then you just load a bunch of bullets in this character, and you don't kill it, but you basically knock it unconscious. And then it stays unconscious for a while on the ground, and then eventually it'll get back up and get in your way some more. And it was just so weird that like I kept collecting all these bullets and I would just be blasting this character constantly over and over again while I'm trying to do other stuff. And it got to that point to where I was like, this character is just annoying. He's just in the way. And I almost felt like the action part of it of just shooting this character down just got in the way of the rest of the experience. And as you're going through the school and all that, I like the details of the school. I like the, you know, stuff that they put into it, trying to set the environment, set the tone. You know, the character that chases after you looks kind of cool, but you'll get an explanation as to why he's there, or at least not towards the end. But, you know, he kind of just shows up randomly. You're like, all right, here we go. But as detailed as the school is, there's not much to find. You are searching a lot of places, but everywhere you search is to find ammo. And you do pick up case evidence, but most of the time I would just see it pop up on my screen that, look, oh, case evidence was picked up, and I didn't like interact with anything. So sometimes I would know that something happened, sometimes I didn't. There was only like twice where I actually interacted with something to get case evidence, and they involve like simple little puzzles. There's like 2 or 3 puzzles that you have to figure out in the game. One took me a few tries to do, but wasn't too bad. The only annoying part is that depending on where your friend guy is, he could get in the way. Like he can actually disrupt you solving the puzzle. And I thought that was kind of a cool element. Like for a gamer like me, that gets frustrating, but I can see where that's appealing to some people. You know, it's like, oh, you can't hide once you're in that puzzle. Like if he's nearby, you gotta figure that puzzle out quick as he's gonna come get you. Because once he comes near you, it's like a one-hit death. Like he knocks you down and that's it. And the game doesn't have like manual saves, but there are auto checkpoints and they're fine. There's a couple moments where I was having to go redo some stuff, and it set me back an extra 5 to 7 minutes. But for the most part, the saves were in a close enough spot where I could kind of run back to where I was. The character can run in this game, and the running is pretty decent, so that made up for it. The character itself, as you're playing through the game, just uses a pistol, and that's pretty much it. There's not much in terms of like picking up health or anything like that. And the body cam footage, I don't know if I love it or not. It's hard to say. What I did like is that the game did give you point of view settings, which a lot of games do, like any FPS does, like field of view settings. And I usually don't mess with those much in games. I just kind of stick with what's given to me because it usually works. You know, and I use 2 monitors, so I don't have like a widescreen or anything. But I decided to test it out because I was like, oh, this is a new kind of experience with body cam. And I did find that sticking closer with the footage like was better. Like if I spread my field of view a bit too much, the arms looked really long. And I know that could probably happen in some games, but especially with this one in particular, when I stretch the field of view all the way for this body cam viewpoint, his arms were looking a little like they were 20 feet long. Like it was a little cartoony how his arms were looking. So I played a little bit in different field of viewpoints, but at the end of the day, I kind of stuck back with what the game originally gave me in the first place. I found to be the best experience because a little bit too close, and then the hand was looking a little weird, too close up. So the ending story of this game, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but it was kind of goofy and weird because besides the fact that the game tells you, hey, this is why you're going to school to search what happened to this girl, you learn a little bit about what happened to her, but not like a whole lot. Again, there's not many items to pick up for like story lore or anything. You're just kind of going from one moment to the next. And then once you find out what's happening, the game does give you a multiple ending scenario. And I just like, in the context, I was like, I don't really care, and I don't know what either of these choices mean. And so it felt like there was like barely a story thought of. It was just more of to get you into the experience, which if that's its purpose, it was fine. But playing it for the story, you're not gonna get anything out of this game. For me, it's hard to recommend this game. Again, the positive note, it's short. If you want something that you can get through really quick, just to mark another game off the list, maybe an easy trophy, go for it. But otherwise, I don't know if I would recommend checking this game out. I know it's a lower price point, which I think is totally fair for what you get. But besides that, I think the game itself is like lackluster. For a game called ActionCam, there's not much action in it. There is only one other being with you in the game, and you're not even like killing things, you're just like stopping them temporarily, and it never gets explained how that works. And you're picking up all this cool ammo, but you don't really ever use any of it. And so just like the thought process of like what this game is has been hard for me to kind of understand and grasp, like what was the point of this game other than maybe show off like the gimmick of it all. I don't know. I just find it hard to recommend, worth checking out. So yeah, I would probably just skip this one, honestly. It was like, all right, it was okay.